Walter Garden was Cal's first All-American football player and well-known 200-pound lineman who was just extraordinary.
Walter Gordon's legacy started on that football field at Cal, and it started a bunch of firsts for Walter Gordon.
Walter Gordon's story is interesting from a filmmaker's perspective because it's almost unimaginable the things that Walter Gordon was able to do. And one of the things that most people say is that they don't know anything about Walter Gordon. And history has basically overlooked the accomplishments and the significant achievements of this great man.
He was the first black football player, but off the football field, he was a renowned boxer and wrestler and a Pacific Coast champion at Cal. This is all collegiately. Then later on, the first black selected to the Berkeley Police Force, the first black admitted to Bolt Hall, where he graduated with a law degree.
How Walter Garden went to law school, worked as an assistant football coach, and did the other things he did, and did well in law school is beyond me.
Walter Gordon did some amazing things as assistant coach at Cal for 24 years. He coached probably the most famous Cal teams of all time, the Wonder Teams, who didn't lose a game for 5 years from 1920 through the 24 season. He's almost a mythical figure, that he came along and broke down all kinds of barriers.
He was an intellectual, he was an athlete, and he even had a little bit of a spiritual side to it. My grandfather loved Berkeley. And I think between being a member of the police force and going to law school, he came to the realization that the best way to advance African American life in this country was through the law.
And also Walter Gordon played a pivotal role in the whole reorganization of the California prison system back in the early 1940s under Governor Earl Warren, at the time when he was appointed to be a member and then serve as a longtime chairman for the California Adult Authority, which took the place of the state's parole board in 1944.
It's important to know people like Doug Harris. It really is important because of the film work that he does. He's a true documentarian in that he reaches back and finds a lot of niche figures, people that general society don't know much about. Look at Byron Rumford in the Fair Housing Act. Don Barksdale, one of the first African Americans to make his niche in American sports. Pete Newell and all the wonderful things he did for basketball at California, producing a national championship team. And I think true documentarians have to have a need to test themselves, to find things that nobody else is doing, and to make these people come alive.
Walter Garden was a true All-American in the best sense of that word. Not only an All-American football player, he was All-American as a citizen.
It's a shame that more people don't know more about him. When I think of Walter Gordon, I think of Jackie Robinson, because his life went in so many different directions. A policeman, a lawyer, a coach, later a governor of the Virgin Islands. I think Walter Gordon was the Jackie Robinson tenfold.